gon' blow your mind. When I was back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just vision. I was gon' get it, I was on missions, I was just living. Walked in that building, we was just building, taking our time. We was just yielding, we was just chilled away from these haters.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The Vikings continue to move through the season and want to find a way to secure win number 3 on the year. It's the Packers going up against the Vikings. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Twin Cities and the expansive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. It's a pickup of 21, and that leads to a Green Bay first.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that run wasn't very successful. They did have a big one on the previous play. So you get the sense that the offense is probing around, trying to find the ones that are going to work. And when they find them, they'll keep coming back to them.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And here's a look at the starting offense. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. On now is the Packers punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Carry for the rookie Procise. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A second down carry for Procise. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
He's got Evans. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
First down, Procise. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Mike Daniels continues to get better and better with each year. A nice run stopper inside.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw is Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Procise. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Rodgers going to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And again, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Rodgers again now. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. The drive starts with C.J. Procise. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Just when you want on a first down run, call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll drop to throw. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Surveying the field. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was fake. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. A lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Rodgers will try again on second down. And that is incomplete. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give him 16 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And Reed with it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, the flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They start out with a run from Procise. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. So we have reached halftime with our score. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a... And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. They had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit
down the numbers. There he goes. And he cuts it out right sideline. Some space here. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And ready for 3rd and 6. They come up in an offset eye. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Caught by Snead over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On the handoff, this is Procise. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Defense showing blitz. They come out here in the eye. One receiver to the left is Evans. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Five yards to gain here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap is nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready, and he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll run with Procise. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd down following the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Right back to Procise. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got Snead. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here.
Hey, watch the right. Watch the right. Set. Green, 39.
They'll pitch out to Procise. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the D looking like they may blitz. On the counter, it's Procise. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. They'll give it to him right up the gut. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it is incomplete. So the defensive holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. This is Procise on the carry. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the 2nd half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll look to throw here. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, The play-action pass could very well be open.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Throwing is Rodgers on, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Zadarius Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Fielded at about the 28. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. One receiver to the left is Evans. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 3rd and short, it's Procise. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action here on first down. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height Setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Second down following the incompletion. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
All right, here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Fresh set of downs here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Sharif Floyd. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
What's left? What's left? Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Mike Evans with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a pick. A strong running. Look at the big man rumble. 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
McCoy. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. On now is the... And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Packers, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.